Thanks for joining me for practice today. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And in the description is a link to my Patreon account if you'd like to offer a donation. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Come into a comfortable seated position. You can move the flesh from the sit bones and sit tall, closing your eyes. Anchor the sit bones down into the earth. Lift through the crown of your head. Lift the base of your skull. Notice how the chin draws in slightly, but keep the heart lifted. Feel the side bodies lengthen as you extend through the waist and anchor down into your bolster or sit bones. Let the legs and feet just be relaxed and heavy. And then with your eyes closed, you can have the backs of your hands on your knees, palms facing up or down. And then just find your breath. Gently feel and see the belly expand on inhalation and the belly draw back on exhalation. So we always like to start with belly breathing because it drops our attention down into the body and stimulates the calming part of our nervous system. As you find a few rounds here of belly breathing, just notice that on the inhalation, there's an expansion of the navel. On the exhalation, there's a conscious contraction of the navel back towards the spine. And while you're breathing in this way, allow the breath to become very smooth and even. Creating a deep feeling or sense of stability. And there's a term in yoga called samana, which means stability. And samana is the condition for the yogi. One who is anchored and stable in their core, in their center, so that at any time when things become chaotic or just life in general is happening, maybe at a quickened pace, they remain rooted or anchored in their center. And one last full breath like this, just in the belly. And then we'll grow the breath organically. So just belly into ribs now. And then exhale, belly, and then ribs. And you feel them sort of knit together, drawing in again, even towards the upper abdomen. So inhale, belly swells, rib cage expands. Out to the side, and then exhale, navel hugs back towards the spine, and the rib cage knits together. A few rounds of this two-part breath. Now it's still smooth, it's still even, and if you'd like to add in the ujjayi sound, that ocean wave or whisper type breath, bring that in now. And then reach the breath even further now up into the chest. So it's belly, ribs, chest, heart expands, breath moves all the way to the top of the collarbones. And then exhale, contracting the abdomen, knitting the rib cage together, and letting the chest soften. Again, smooth and even. Good. Just 2 more breaths here. Notice the steadying quality it brings not only to the body, but to the mind and even the emotions. And this weekend, tomorrow, around 11:30, we're moving into a blood moon, a full lunar eclipse. And it's in Scorpio, and Scorpio is a lot of emotion. So we're practicing this stability in our practice on a regular basis so that when the energies around us become a little more chaotic, we can maintain our center to the best of our ability. And even if we lose our center, we have tools in our toolbox to return to it. You can even just find a moment to sit quietly and return to this breath. And really, in a few moments' time, the mind, the emotions begin to settle. That's one of the greatest gifts we've received from the yogis and all the teachers who have generously passed these teachings on to us. So last breath here. And then just bring your hands together in front of your heart and let your thumbs touch your sternum and bow your head. And we'll set that as the intention for the practice day, really building this samana quality, this quality of stability in the navel center, the ability to discern. And if there's anything in your life right now that's asking you to maybe be a little more critical in your thinking, maybe to really see what is between the lines, the spoken and the unspoken. As you make that intention just a little more personal to you, we'll settle it here in the heart and surround it with unconditional love. Beginning with the opening 3 ohms to really align our energy with the energy of creation. Take a deep inhale in. And then a long exhale out. Another deep inhale in. And just bow your head to your hands. And take your time to gradually open your eyes and come into the room. Good. If your sit bones were propped, you may want to take that bolster out of the way. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace your fingers and turn the palms to face up. Extend through the arms and actually lift the shoulders up by the ears for a moment, extending through the side bodies, but then lower the shoulders down into their sockets as the side bodies remain long. And here, really work on the stability of the core. So feel the navel draw back to the spine and even a slight engagement of the tailbone drawing in and under the body. And then it's easy in this position to pop the low ribs out forward. So can you knit the low ribs together? Maybe feeling a little bit of the pressure move more into the back body. And then while that remains strong and stable, lift the sternum a little higher, but keep the shoulders into their sockets. So keep releasing the shoulders down away from the ears. So a lot of little working parts moving together in coordination to maintain a strong, stable core. And so it doesn't really look like we're doing much here, but there's a lot happening internally. So gaze is steady, breath is steady. A few more breaths here. Each time you exhale, there's a re-engagement of the core. Each time you inhale, there's a slight softening there. One more, building some heat, challenging those shoulders where we've become tight. And then on your next exhale, turn the palms up and just slowly release the arms. And feel like the arms are extending out to the side as they come down. So just really take your time, lengthen and reach out through the shoulders, through the elbows, the fingertips. And turn the palms down, place the right hand onto the earth, inhale the left arm up. And walk that hand out. So we'll just go a little deeper into the side body. Plant the right hand, press the left heel down into the earth and extend through the left side body, gazing up at the left inner arm, unless it's uncomfortable for the neck, and then you can gaze at the side wall. In your top arm, pinky finger reaches towards the floor. And again, that shoulder head stays down into the socket. Breathe deeply here. Now, not only is the side body lengthening, but there's a slight twist in the torso. So lean back with the shoulders just a little more and keep drawing the navel back towards the spine, remembering here that stability in the core. So keeping everything returning back to the center. One more breath here. Good. Inhale, lift the arm up. Slowly come back up into seated. Take a moment just to feel the difference between the right side and the left. Inhale the right arm up. Walk that hand out. Plant the hand, anchor the sit bone, reach the fingers away. Now you might find there's a difference between one side and the other. That's okay. We have a lot of imbalances in the body. Just keep finding those alignment principles by gazing up at the right inner arm or keeping the neck neutral and pinky finger rotating towards the floor as the head of the shoulder moves into its socket. Now, it's always this balance between allowing the flexibility to come in and maintaining the stability. So on the inhale, finding just a little more length. On the exhale, hug the navel to the spine for a little more stability. And just baby steps as you incrementally move deeper into the posture. And then inhale, reach the right arm up in the air. Slowly come back up into seated and rest for a moment just to feel what's the sensation. Very nice. We're coming into tabletop position here. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet press firmly into the floor. Extend your right arm, left leg, flex through the heel of your back foot. And then as you exhale, draw your knee into your chest, elbow into your knee, and concave your spine. So really pull the navel in. And then inhale, extend back out, flex the heel, fingers reach away. Exhale, pull everything in, crunch the core. And keep going, inhaling, exhaling, just remembering to return to that sensation there in the navel. So building some of that core strength. Notice how your breath, again, inhale allows you to get longer. Exhale gives you just a little more stability because naturally the navel is pulling in. One more here. And then find neutral position. Just feel both hands, both knees and feet. Enjoy that symmetry for a moment. And we'll do the other side. So left arm, right leg. Exhale, pull the navel and elbow into your core, around the back, crunch it in. And then inhale, extend. And exhale, pull everything in. Inhale, extend. Keep going with your breath. Even inhale, even exhale. Strong, stable core. And last two here, please. And then once again, find that symmetry of tabletop position. Just enjoy the rest there. And then inhale, lift your heart, lift your sit bones, look up. Exhale, pull your navel like there's a hook, pulling the belly button towards the back spine, and then slowly come down to child's pose. And take embryo here, back of the hands toward the heels, just round the upper back. Now use the warmth you created just to melt the sensation. Good, last breath here. And then come back into tabletop. This time we're going to take the elbows down into the mat. Wrap your hands around the middle part of the arms. Either interlace the fingers and press the forearms down, or spread the palms wide with the forearms parallel. Tuck your back toes under, lift your sit bones up and back, and come into dolphin variation of down dog. So just take a moment. We're going to open up those legs here. You can either bend one knee and press the other heel down and switch back and forth, or you can just leave the legs stable and steady, depending on what feels better for your body this morning. Once you do get a little more flexibility in there, have your feet about hip distance apart, turn your toes in slightly, heels out. Roll your inner thighs in and back and allow your sit bones to spread. Now here you can really work with gravity. So as you exhale, allow the navel to naturally be pulled in and up underneath the rib cage. And you can exaggerate that a little bit through your effort. And then as you inhale, you're going to soften the belly and take that full breath in all the way down even to the pelvic floor. And on the exhale again, it's like an emptying out sensation there as the belly draws in and up under the rib cage. And just a few rounds here of really consciously breathing, expanding the belly on inhalation and contracting it in and up on exhalation. Even breaths. This is one of the easiest places to learn and practice Mula Nudiana Bandha, because when we're inverted, gravity works with us. So even again, on the outside, it doesn't really look like we're doing much, but on the inside, there's a lot of action and activity happening. 2 more. Good. On the exhale, bring your knees to the floor once again. Find child's pose, and then hands by the heels, round the upper back. Embryo. Notice here how the belly breathes into the thighs. Again, on the inhale, there's a little pressure as the belly expands into them. On the exhale, there's a little relief of that pressure as the navel draws towards the back body. And we're just creating that relationship to the core, to the area of samana. Good. Coming forward one more time, we're going to do the same thing. So elbows come down into your mat, wrap the hands around the middle part of the arms, and either interlace the fingers or hands spread wide, forearms parallel. Tuck the back toes under, lift the sit bones up and back. dolphin variation of down dog or forearm down dog. Now, you can just stay here where we were before, continuing to really work that breathing in the abdomen, or you can wiggle your toes back a few inches and do some dolphin push-ups. So as you exhale, you're going to take your chest over your forearms, tailbone under, lower belly lifts, and then inhale, reach up and away. Exhale, navel hugs the back body. Inhale, lifting and spreading the sit bones. Keep going, inhaling, exhaling, and really, again, working that core, finding that stability, trusting the body to hold you strong and stable. And yeah, it's a challenge. We're definitely building muscular strength against some of those areas of weakness that most of us have as Westerners. How about 3 more here? And if you're ready to come down already, then just find that child's pose or embryo that we've been working with. Last one. And then knees to floor, sit bones to heels, round the back. Belly breathing into the thighs. Hands under the shoulders, roll up into a seated position. And then sit tall on your heels for just a minute in Vajrasana. We're going to make a fist with our hands, so thumb in, fingers wrap around. And then we're going to extend the arms into a V shape for Kabalabati breathing. Kabalabati is a cleansing technique, so we're going to help to purify the body by pulling some of the toxins out of the lungs through short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils. So it's the same thing if a gnat were to fly up your nose, you want to get it out quickly, it's a pumping of the diaphragm, just like that. Okay, so we'll take a full inhale in. And then exhale about 3/4 of your breath out, and a round of 36 short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils. Begin. Slow it down. Inhale, bring your fist together over your head. Rest for a minute, holding the breath in. And then exhale to bring those fists into your core and forward fold over your legs. And now as you hold the breath out, rotate the fists in circles, massaging the internal organs and stimulating digestion. Then inhale, lean back. Take a moment just to breathe in and out evenly with stability. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So arms into a V, thumbs in, fingers wrap around, MuktiBhuktiYoga, full breath in. Exhale 3/4 of the breath out. Short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils with the diaphragm. Begin. Slow it down. Inhale, hands join over the head. Hold the breath in, pause. Exhale, fist into your core, fold over your legs. And massage those internal organs. Break up any scar tissue that might be there. Rotating the wrists. Lean back when you need to breathe in, sit tall for a moment, and regulate the breath. Good, 1 more. Arms into a V, thumbs in, fingers wrap around, full breath in. Exhale 3/4, begin. Slow it down. Inhale, fist join. Pause. Tranquil mind. Exhale when you need to. Fists into your core, fold over your legs. Massage the internal organs, stimulating the navel center. Sit back when you need to breathe in and just close the eyes, rest the hands comfortably in the lap, and observe sensation in the navel center. So not only finding stability there, but what's it like to have it fully energized, like a full battery? Good. Let's come back into tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, lift heart, lift sit bones, look up. And this time, exhale, tuck the toes, and find downward facing dog. So legs have some flexibility in them. Feet are about hip distance apart, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back and allow the sit bones to spread. And really try to draw the weight of the body into the legs and feet. And let the spine lengthen. Head and neck is relaxed and traditionally gazes up at the navel center, but certainly you can look between the legs if that's too intense for the neck. In the upper body, roll your shoulder heads away from your ears, squeeze the upper arms towards the midline. And then really anchor down through the web of the index and thumb. Again, return to feeling the hollowing out sensation on exhalation in the navel. Two more complete breaths here in downward facing dog. And just bring the attention through the body. Where am I sinking and I need to engage? Where am I over engaged and I need to relax? Bringing balance. Good. Rise onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, look at the hands, step forward to your fingertips, and then just open the feet hip distance apart. Bring the micro-bend into the legs and knees and let the chest actually touch the thighs. So belly, chest, touching thighs. And then wrap your arms around the backs of your legs and just hug that in. And then bring your body weight forward in the balls of the feet and lift the hips as high as you can while maintaining that connection of belly to thighs. Now head and neck is just heavy, so no tension there. Imagine it's just a weight attached to the spine, helping to lengthen it. And then also notice you have a tendency to roll to the outer foot, so bring some attention into the inner foot. Notice where that sensation leads you in the body. Keep leaning into the balls of the feet. The longer we stay, the more we have a tendency to start sinking back into those patterns. And each inhale, belly swells, pressing into thighs. Each exhale, you're still consciously contracting navel back to spine. Last one here. Good. Now stay heavy and completely relaxed over those legs and sweep the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Pull the knuckles up and away and just really stretch the shoulders. So that's done by engaging the shoulder blades in together towards the center line and drawing them slightly down the back to pull the shoulders away from the ears. One more full breath here. And then bring your hands to your hips. Flat back, come halfway up. So you can keep a micro bend in your knee or straighten your legs, but you're reaching the crown of the head away from the tailbone and really elongating the spine. Again, here too, notice how the navel pulls in to support the spine in this position where we're countering gravity. One more full breath. And then anchoring into the feet. Keep lifting the heart as you rise up to standing and just find Samastiti for a moment and just feel the body. Feel the work that we've already done, taking a little more time this morning with some of those opening postures to really establish a relationship with the navel center. Okay, step back to the front of your mats for sun salutation. So big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. So just Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold navel to spine. Inhale, monkey pose, flat back. And then exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. So first round, bring the knees to the floor. Squeeze the elbows tight into your side as your belly comes down. Tops of the feet ground. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull back for cobra, just warming up the spine. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take 5 breaths. So same thing, concentration in the core. Keep pulling Mula and Uddiyana Bandha in and up. That's that lifting of the pelvic floor, and then the navel in and up under the rib cage. Deep, complete breaths. And just take one more here. One more full inhale, full exhale. And then rise onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, look at your hands, and step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale back into monkey pose, hands on shin or floor, flat back. And exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, arms reach out wide, press into the feet as you come all the way up to standing. Slight back bend here. And then exhale, hands either by your side or to your heart. Inhale, the arms reach out. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Again, hands on shin or floor, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Now this round, if you want to try, leave your knees lifted for chaturanga, elbows into the side. And then inhale, cobra or up dog. If the knees are off the ground, it's up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take our 5 full breaths. Again, gaze between the ankles or up at the navel center. And even if the eyes are looking between the ankles, the inner eye can continue to watch the breath and the engagement of the core. Last one. And rise onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Arms reach. And exhale, arms by your side or to your heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank. Chaturanga, either knees lowered or lifted. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Again, 5 full breaths. Keep drawing the weight back into the legs. Elongating the spine and upper body. Head and neck is relaxed. Consciously contract that abdomen on this next exhale. Last breath. And then rise onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Arms reach, slight back bend, and exhale. Arms by your side or hands to your heart. And just take a moment here in Samastiti. Just feel that warmth, the stimulation of the fire. 2 more breaths. And then coming back to center. Grab your block if you have it, and if you don't have it, then have your big toes touching space between your heels. We're going to place that in between the inner thighs. And then you want to feel the inner thighs rotate in and back. So it feels like the block will pop out behind you, but it won't. And this really stabilizes those legs so we can do more of our concentration here on our core. So inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, lower the shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Exhale, contract your abdomen and forward fold over bent knees. Now inhale, bring your arms back behind you like wings, palms face up, stretching the shoulders. And then exhale, bring just the arms through. And as it inhales, you lean back in a chair. Repeat it again. Exhale, contract your abdomen, forward fold over your bent legs. Inhale, your arms behind you like wings. Exhale, the arms come through. Inhale, lean back. Good. Now keep going with that. Exhale as the navel pulls in and up. More stability. Inhale here. Exhale the arms through. Keep that core and pelvic floor engaged as you inhale back up. Your breath. Keep going. Use your ujjayi sound. Last one. Inhale, lean back, and slowly straighten your legs. And then just exhale, arms by your side, and take a moment just to feel that sensation, warmth. Again, deepening the relationship to the navel. So releasing the block here. Have your feet hip distance apart. Place your right hand on your thigh. Inhale the left arm up. And inhale the left arm as long as you can. So you're really elongating that side body. And now lean over to the right side. Right hand slides down the leg. Now this may not seem much like a core pose, but what we really begin to do is absorb the tailbone into the body, lift the lower belly, and create an inner buoyancy, an inner lightness, or inner body lift. So the bandhas, or the engagement of the core and pelvic floor, creates more height through the spine so that, yes, we're getting length along the left side, but we're not collapsing into the right. Keep pressing to the outside edge of your left foot for stability. Relax the right shoulder down the leg. One more breath here. Gazes up at that left inner arm. And then inhale, lift with the left arm. Come back to standing. Lower as you exhale, arm to your side. Feel the difference. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, lean down now to your left, sliding your left hand down your leg. So remember, keep that shoulder head into its socket, just like when we were doing it before. And now that we're standing, keep pushing into the outside edge of the right foot and absorb the tailbone in and lift the lower belly and create that inner lightness so that this posture becomes a little easier. We don't feel any crunching in that left side. Keep leaning back with your chest. So much more coming from the navel center than we realize. One more here. Slide the left hand down the leg. Inhale the right arm all the way up and exhale and just rest for a moment. Feel sensation. At the front of your mat, big toes are touching space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart or feet hip distance. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. And then exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position, your way, so knees lowered or lifted. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Now, right leg's going to lunge forward to the fingertips. Stay in a high lunge position. So fingers in a finger stand, front shin bone pressing away from the back heel. Reach the sternum away from the heel so that you're creating even more length along the spine. And then squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline for support. When you feel nice and stable, you're going to bring your hands together in front of you, interlace your fingers, take your index and your thumb up, and now slowly rise up to standing with the hands in Samana Mudra. So here, we're inhaling a little deeper into the back bend, and we're going to exhale and lean forward. So really working not just the front, but back core too. Inhale, lean up, opening up slightly deeper into the back bend. Exhale, leaning forward. Inhale, back into the back bend. Exhale, lean forward. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Sweep the right leg up in the air. Open the hip, stack right hip over left. So create a little space there, let the blood drain out. And now square the hip. And if you can, try keeping the leg lifted as you come forward into plank position and squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. And then bring the foot down for up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So the grace of that movement, really in alignment with the core strength, that inner body lift. Let's try the other side. Left foot forward to the fingertips. Stay in a high lunge position. So fingers in a finger stand. Really stabilize first. Sternum away from heels so you create some space in the chest, front body. When you squeeze those inner thighs towards the midline and feel stable, bring the hands forward. Interlace, see if you can interlace the awkward way. Index and thumb pointing up. And inhale all the way up. Exhale here. Now inhale. You're going to lengthen and open up into the back bend just a little bit more. And now exhale, come forward. Contract the abdomen to the spine. Inhale, back into the back bend. Just to your pace. Breathe here. Exhale. Navel in. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And now exhale, you're going to bring the fingertips to the floor. You're going to sweep the left leg all the way up in the air and now stack that left hip over the right. Just let it drain out. Sweet release. And then square the hip. See if you can leave that leg lifted for chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale. Downward facing dog. Take a rest here. If you need to rest in child's pose, rest in child's pose. Ujjayi breathing. Return your awareness to your navel center. One more breath here. Now we're going to lunge the right foot forward to the fingertips again. Same thing. Come into a high lunge position. Inhale, the arms reach up, forward and up. Nice and stable in the legs. Same position with the hands. So interlace the fingers, index and thumb point up. Now this time we're going to lean towards our bent knee leg. So lean over to your right. Remember all that we just learned in that standing half moon. So you want to create that inner buoyancy by really absorbing the tailbone in and lifting the lower belly. Couple more breaths here. Keep your gaze steady. One more. Inhale back to center. Open the arms out wide and rotate the navel to the right. So you're coming into a twist. Just to what your body's capacity is. So keep growing taller. Inhale. Press into the legs. Let them really anchor into the floor and lift a little taller through the crown of your head. Then as you exhale, squeeze and wring out just a little more. One more breath. And exhale, rotate the fingertips back down and swing that right leg all the way up in the air. Let the blood drain out. And this time just downward facing dog. Other side. So left foot forward to the fingertips. Find your grounding. Inhale the arms forward and up. Again, Samana Mudra, maybe the awkward way to interlace, index and thumb point up. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, lean over to the left now, towards that bent knee leg. Just feeling all that space and length. Creating the height in the spine, inner body lift. It's core stability. Last one. And inhale, come back up. Now open the arms out wide to shoulder distance. Rotate your navel to the left. Reach out from your chest, through your shoulders, through your elbows, through your fingertips. Give that excess energy away. Don't gather it in the chest. 2 more here. Keep wringing out. And rotate down. Downward facing dog. Extend the leg up in the air. Find that blood just kind of draining out. And then rest in the symmetry. Walk your hands towards the back of your mat. And just come into your forward fold. If you'd like, you can take hands on the backs of the legs. Slide them down a few times just to relax a little deeper into the back. Hamstrings, calves. Remember that sensation of the belly touching the thighs. So if you need a micro bend or lean forward a little closer into the balls of the feet to create that sensation. Then wrap the arms around the legs and just give yourself a hug. Head and neck is completely relaxed. Two more breaths here. And then hands to hips, scoop your heart, and slowly rise up to standing. And if you need to rotate shoulders, make sure there's no strain or stress there. Give a couple rotations in, forward and back. And then just rest. Just feel. Okay, we're going to do some balance posture. So if you have a strap, that's ideal to have with you. But if not, it's okay. We can do it without the strap. So if you don't have a strap, we're going to have hands to hips, weight into your left foot, lift your right knee. You can do this whole thing with your knee bent, or you can just use your own hand to bind index, middle thumb around big toe and straighten the leg. But if you have the strap, I encourage you to use it even if you can reach the toes, because for today we're working more on that inner body lift than on the flexibility. So pushing down into that supporting leg, lift your sternum as high as you can, and really stabilize here. Think of drawing the head of the femur into its socket. Can you feel that slight sensation as you pull it in? And then finding your inner body lift, we're going to move a little deeper into the pelvic floor and core lift by actually bending slightly into a forward fold. So take your gaze to the floor. See if you can feel that as you lift your pelvic floor and core in and up, you come down just a little deeper into a forward bend. 2 more breaths. It's intense, that's okay, breathe through it. And then gently release, stand in mountain pose. I just feel like that sensation that we get from bending in that deep balance and stability pose really gives us access to the pelvic floor and core. Okay, other side. So again, hands to hips. If you're not using a strap, you're just bending the knee. Or you can hook the index, middle thumb around the big toe and straighten the leg. Perfectly fine. You can still find your height from there. But if you do have a strap or something similar, you wrap that around your foot and grab as close to the strap with the hand as possible. Right hand to hip, press down through your supporting leg. Find that inner body lift, so create the buoyancy. Sometimes I think of it like a zipper from the pubic bone that goes all the way up to the crown of the head. Just keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Good, 2 more here. Now remember, we're going to really work that core and pelvic floor. So as you really engage the pelvic floor and core in and up, like you're curling like a roly-poly, navel comes in, move slightly into that forward bend. Gaze is steady at the floor. Keep lifting pelvic floor, keep lifting core. That's where it's coming from. And then gently release. Take a moment. If you want to drop the strap, go ahead, arms by your side. And breathe. Steady the breath. And continue to feel the relationship here in the abdomen, that stimulation of the core, samana prana. Good. So traditional Tadasana, we're going to do it with a twist here. So feet will be hip distance apart. Inhale your arms forward and up. Rise up onto the balls of the feet. Now, as you exhale for the first few rounds, bring your heels down, rotate your navel to the right, and bring the arms down to shoulder distance in a twist. Good. Then inhale, come back to center. Rise up onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale to the left. Arms come down, rotate. Good. Again, inhale, rise up. Get tall. Lift the heels as high as you can. Exhale, slowly bring the heels down at the same rate the arms come to shoulder distance. Rotating to the right. Inhale. And exhale to the left. Good. Now, if you want to challenge, inhale, come up to the center, and then stay on the balls of the feet as you rotate to the right. And then stay on the balls of the feet as you come back to center, and then to the left. Staying high on the balls of the feet as you come back up to center. One more to the right. Navel in. Inhale as you come back to center. Lift those heels even higher. Exhale to the left. And then inhale, come back to center. And slowly lower heels and arms down from the front to your side. And just rest. Just rest. One more breath here. Good. Now you're still at the back of your mat, so feet hip distance apart. Turn your left toes out to a slight angle and step the right foot forward to a comfortable distance. You're only about 2.5, 3 feet with your stance. Back toes are angled towards the upper left corner and the front foot is straight. Hips are squared forward, so if you need to, bring your hands to your hips and really feel that for a minute. And then if you need a little more flexibility for this posture, you might want to have a block just to the outside edge of the right foot. Good. So right hand onto the sacrum. Inhale, the left arm reaches up. And then exhale and come down just halfway. Now we're going to stay here. So in this half position, really finding that extension through the spine. So send your heart forward, your hips back, arm in alignment with the ear. Feel that sensation of what it takes to keep the spine lifted and extended. And then maintaining that, bring your left hand down to the block, spin your right hand flat onto your sacrum, and now rotate the navel to the right. So you're moving into twisting triangle. And then same thing, extend your spine. So send your heart forward, send your hips back. And if you're really comfortable here, take the right arm up in the air, fingers together. And now more about the length of the spine than it is about the legs. But you got to anchor into that back heel. As you pull the navel in, rotate a little deeper to the right. Squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline. Really find that support and strength there. 2 more breaths. Each time, navel hugs back. 1 more. And then exhale, gently release. Forward fold over the legs. So if you need blocks on either side of the foot, you can do that, or just melt with the hands on the floor. Head and neck is relaxed. Gaze through the legs or up at the navel. Good. 1 more breath here. Let go. Now, the same foot that's forward, we're going to take that block forward in front. And you can decide what height you need your block on. It's going to go in front of the big toe at a slight diagonal in towards the midline. And then left hand on the block, weight into the right foot, left leg lifts. Now, once again, you can just stay here. It's almost like a warrior 3 position with the legs. Or you can take your right hand under your sacrum to challenge, extend the spine like we did a moment ago, maybe open that right shoulder up a little bit more, or if you're comfortable, take your arm up. Most comfortable, change your gaze. Now same thing here, sternum forward, heel back. Press through the crown, through the heel. Navel's hugging in and back. Rotating to the right, 2 more. Very challenging pose. And then exhale, left foot steps forward to meet the right, just melt over your legs and forward fold. Use that heat to really soften. Inhale, hands to the hips, scoop heart, rise up to standing, and take rest. Notice how you feel. As we develop more and more samana, there's more and more of a sense of deep inner stability. Okay, so we're about mid-mat, so we're going to turn our right toes out to a slight angle and step the left foot forward to a comfortable distance. And again here, if you think you need the support, bring the block to the outside edge of your left foot. And again, those right toes are angled, the left foot is straight, but bring your hands to your hips for a moment and really feel to get those as squared as possible. Then hands onto the sacrum, inhale the right arm up in alignment with your ear. And as you exhale, just come down to halfway. So we have to first learn how to extend just in this posture. If this is difficult for you, then you're just going to stay here. This is teaching that core, that inner body lift. But if you can maintain that or remember that feeling, take the right hand to the outside of your left foot now. On the floor or block, left hand to the sacrum spins flat, rotate the navel to the left. And keep pressing into that back heel as you lift the left arm up. And again, send the heart forward, hips back. So how much length can you create in the spine? Because the more length you have, the easier the rotation is. Keep hugging the navel back. Two more. Open the chest. Good, and then gently release and fold over that leg. So you've got all that heat in there. Just melt right over that front leg. You can use both blocks if you need under your hands or just hands to floor. Traditionally, gaze is up at the navel. That really releases the back of the neck. Okay, last standing posture. We're going to take that block now in front of the big toe. And you got to decide what's the right angle for you. Usually similar, hopefully, to the other side. And then we're going to take the block about 6 to 10 inches in front of the big toe, right hand onto the block. And now this time the right leg's going to lift up in the air. So same hand to block as the foot is up in the air. And then once you're real comfortable there, left hand to sacrum. And find that warrior 3 position. Maybe start opening and twisting the navel to the left, the shoulders opening a little bit more, gaze starts at the floor, or if you'd like, try lifting the arm. It's a difficult posture. If you want to take the navel to the left a little more and gaze over now to that left side. If that's too much, go back. Press the heel away from the crown. Create that strength. Find the stability of the core. One more breath. And now melt that right leg up to meet the left and soften the spine over the legs. Head and neck is relaxed. If you want, again, you can bend the knees slightly and hug the chest to the thighs. Just settle the breath here. Belly breathing into the legs. Inhale, monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Chaturanga your way, knees lowered or lifted, your choice. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. And then from down dog, we're gonna bring knees to floor, sit bones to heels, and once again, take that embryo. So hands toward the heels, relax the shoulders, upper back. Notice belly breathing into the thighs, and also expanding space in the back body. Couple more here. Make sure that you're regulating the breath. Hands under the shoulders, roll yourself up to sitting on your heels, and just for a moment, sit tall. In Vajrasana, hands rest comfortably in the lap. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. Just go inward. And notice the relationship to the abdomen. In many ways, the more we draw our attention there in Tantra, according to Tantra, where the mind goes, energy follows. So we've already brought more energy there just by thinking about it. But then also, as we've done specific postures, we're generating more prana in this region. So just the sensation alone will draw the mind there. And then come up to standing on the heels, on the knees rather. Tuck your back toes under. Point your fingertips up your back. So we're going to move in and out of a dynamic Ustrasana or Camel Pose, and just be real mindful of trying to keep the hips in alignment with the knees. So on your next inhale, lean back, press the hips and thighs forward, and then on your exhale, contract your abdomen to pull your navel back and heart back into a neutral position. Do that again. Inhale, lean back, open up to your capacity, and then exhale, contract your abdomen to draw your sternum forward. Good. We've got 3 more like that with your breath, please. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. As you exhale and you come forward, keep knitting the rib cage together, pulling the abdomen back, and then just once again sit tall on your heels and rest. And then we're going to come onto our backs. So knees to chest. Get a little release there for the back body. Support of the earth feels good after all that effort. A lot of those postures are real challenging. And then have your feet flat, knees bent. I'm going to move into some dynamic bridge. Make sure that the feet are parallel. Arms start by your side. So just begin by inhale, reach up, full breath in. Now, as you exhale, stay lifted in the spine. So exhale just the breath out. Feel empty here. And then with the breath held out, slowly roll down 1 vertebrae at a time and suck the pelvic floor and navel in and up as you release towards the floor. Then take an inhale, exhale here. Resting. Do it again. Inhale, press into the feet, roll up. Full breath into the back bend. Now stay in the back bend, exhale all the breath out. Hold the breath out as you slowly release down 1 vertebrae at a time, really lifting Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. And then when you completely relax, take an inhale, exhale there. Now, if you've got a little more breath control than that, you can just go without the recovery breath. So again, inhale, reach. Exhale, stay, let the breath leave. Hold the breath out, don't breathe in as you slowly release. And then if you're not taking the recovery breath, you're just going to inhale back up. So you decide what's best for you. And keep going. Two more, please. There's absolutely no rush, but when you finish, you can widen the feet, let the knees fall into the center, and just place your hands on your abdomen. Take a moment to just rest. Feeling the effects of that deep bandha work. Good. From here, we're going to extend the left leg long to the floor. If you can, hook your index middle thumb around your big toe and straighten your leg. If not, you still have your strap that you had from before, or you certainly can just grab around the back of the calf. On your next exhale, you're going to press your hand left hand towards your left toes and lift your chest off the floor. So shoulder blades off the floor, contract the abdomen, breathe deeply here. Keep pulling the top leg back towards the head while you push the left leg away. Notice the core strength. One more. Now to release, come back down, take that right leg out to the side, and then gaze over your left shoulder. And if you have a strap, certainly just adjusting on the strap would be great. Keep rotating the left hip outward to create even more space in the pelvis. 2 more breaths here. Good, come back to center. And release this right leg long to the floor. Just feel all that space you've created. And we'll do the other side. So right leg stays long, left leg comes up. If you can, hook your index middle thumb around the big toe. If not, wrap the arm around the calf or use your strap. Right hand onto the thigh. On your exhale, push the fingertips towards the right toes, crunching the abdomen, drawing the forehead towards the knee, lifting the shoulder blades as high up off the floor as you can. Keep drawing your left leg back, pushing your right leg away. Breathe here. Core strength. Two more. Now, gently release your head back down. Take your left leg out to the side, right hand onto the hip bone. Look over your right shoulder, and now pull that right hip away. Keep extending the inner thigh of your left leg. Breathe here. This feels like a good stretch after all the work that those legs did for us today. And then gently come back to center. And then release that leg and press the toes away as you elongate it to the floor. And once again, just feel the space and let everything just level out. Rest for a moment. Good. We're going to end with Tadaki Mudra. So extend the legs fully to the floor. Keep the legs and feet together. And in the upper body, interlace your fingers, turn your palms up, and take the arms over the head. So this requires some breath retention. So if retention is not comfortable for you or causes too much strain or stress, or you have high blood pressure conditions, anything like this, you want to be very mindful of holding the breath in. So we're going to just take it nice and slow together. And you need to eventually go at your own pace and not try to keep up with somebody else's breath count. So take a full breath in and fill first now chest, ribs, belly, and into the pelvic floor. And now just for the first round, consciously contract the pelvic floor, contract the lower abdominal muscles, the upper abdominal muscles, the rib cage knits together, and the rest of the breath pushes out through the chest. When you feel completely empty, do it again. Inhale, full breath in. Chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Beginning that exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Now contract the lower abdomen, the upper abdomen, knit the rib cage together. You're really purging the body of breath, pressing it out through the chest. And when you feel like you have nothing left in you, do one more breath here, then we're going to begin. Chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Now this time as you exhale, contract that pelvic floor, push the breath out from the lower abdomen, the upper abdomen, the rib cage, the chest, and once the breath is completely out of the body, hold the breath out, don't breathe in, and now push the palms away from the toes and suck deeply the navel in and up under the rib cage, and the ribs will poke up, the sternal notch will move up towards the chin as everything is pushed up towards the chest. You're holding the breath out, but as soon as you need to breathe, you're going to relax the effort. You can even relax the arms, and then take a full breath in and out. Extend the arms away again. Let's do that again. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Exhale, pelvic floor. Squeeze out from lower abdomen, upper abdomen, rib cage, chest, pushing all of that breath out. Now hold the breath out. Don't breathe in. And now use the suction to lift pelvic floor in and up, navel deeply in and up under the rib cage, Mula Uddiyana Bandha. The ribs will expand. The sternal notch will move towards the chin. Push the hands away from the feet. And then as soon as you need to breathe in, you got to relax the effort first and then take your breath. Easy inhale, easy exhale. One more together. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, engage and squeeze out from the lower abdomen, the upper abdomen, the ribs, the chest. Push the breath out. When the breath is all the way out of the body, hold it out, don't breathe in, and straighten the arms a little further away from the feet and suck the pelvic floor, navel in and up under the rib cage. Feel the chest expand, feel the sternal notch move up towards the chin. Hold as long as you can without strain, and then exhale when you need to and take a recovery breath. We've just got 3 more here on your own, please. Begin. Make sure you take a recovery breath if you need to. Good, about 1 more here. Notice how you feel. When you finish, you're just going to let your arms float down by your side, palms face up, widen the legs, feet just open to the side. Whole body relaxes. Notice how calm and stable the body and mind and the emotions are. Keep allowing the navel to sink towards the back body, finding the mind resting in the navel center. So very slowly begin to deepen the breath. And just let it float in and out through the body in the most effortless way possible. And as your attention starts to come back into the room, you can gently run your thumb slowly across your fingers. Just easing into the space, wiggle the toes. If you'd like, roll your wrists and your ankles. And just gradually draw your knees in to your chest and give yourself a hug. Just rock a little, maybe from side to side on the spine. And curl then over to your right side and come into fetal position. Arm under the head, there's a pillow. And placing your hand into the earth, slowly bring yourself back up into seated. If you have a bolster or a blanket, prop your sit bones up. Take your time to do that. And then find a tall spine, relaxed body. Take your right hand onto your abdomen, right around the navel center, and just start to make small circles. You're going to take your circle to the left first. So it was as if you had a clock on your abdomen facing outward. You'd want to go clockwise. And so just giving a little bit of a rubbing sensation there. As you rub the navel center, you might begin to generate some warmth and heat in this area, or at least it feels the warmth from your palm. And we're just creating a little bit of stimulation here for the abdomen to draw our attention more easily to this area. And if you want to go a little faster, create a little more friction, a little more heat. And begin to visualize the sun here in the navel center. The sun in all its glory. All that life-giving light and nutrients, constantly giving, constantly shining, never judging, never saying I'm only going to shine on this one but not the other. And then release your hand and just hold your attention in that area and see a golden sphere like a sun situated right at the navel center. And to the best of your ability, keep your attention held there. Mind resting in a circle or sphere of golden light. Nishtadharana, concentration on the navel. Feeling an overwhelming sense of stability and balance. If the mind wanders, return back to that golden sphere, radiating golden healing light. And then you can keep that good feeling with you. Keep the relationship to the navel center as you just gently draw your hands to your heart and bow your head just a little deeper. And then just go back to the intention that we set and trust that we received what we could receive from that today, letting the rest go. Remember, no matter what happens, you always have these tools that you've been practicing, and that is the gift of practice. That in the times of challenge, we have a place of refuge, a place where we can go to replenish and restore. And let's seal this practice with a chant of Om and the Loka chant for the same healing and stability to spread outward through the earth and all the planes of existence. Deep inhale in. Long exhale out. Deep inhale in. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.